Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Jigsaws with Jamie, where I'm going to spend a little time solving a jigsaw, and hopefully you'll enjoy watching and listening to me twaddle on while I do so. Today's jigsaw is the Impossipuzzle Meerkat edition, box just there. As you can see, a rather challenging puzzle, only 100 pieces, but with not much to go on as far as clues. Just to give myself a little bit of a head start, I've found the corner pieces, got them set out, and over on this side I have all of the edge pieces, and then the remaining pieces laying around. That's just to try and prevent this becoming a long marathon. Although that piece went in straight away, they aren't in a particular order. I'm not a speed solver. I'm not here to solve things quickly. I'm here to enjoy myself, and hopefully you'll enjoy listening and watching, and maybe doing one yourself, maybe doing a jigsaw yourself, or doing something else that you enjoy to help you relax. It's all about finding ways to relax in what can be a busy world. I've loved doing jigsaws for as long as I can remember, really. I used to get them on Christmas Day morning, so like many kids, I would wake up extremely early on Christmas Day, far earlier than my parents would like, and be wanting to go down to see what presents were under the tree. My parents wanted a lion, or as close as a lion as they can get on a Christmas Day with young children. And so we also, as well as some presents under the tree, we'd have a stocking hanging on our door, and we weren't allowed to open the presents under the tree without parents there, but we were allowed to open our stocking, and it would include things like chocolates and maybe a little game, and it would include some puzzles, and usually those puzzles would include a jigsaw. And there's a bit of a mini arms race really between my mum in particular. I think she was the one who was doing most of the buying, and me, to work out who could solve these puzzles fastest, with my mum hoping that she could keep me occupied for several hours, and me looking to try and solve them as quickly as possible so that I could then wake up my parents and go downstairs and see what else was waiting for us. This puzzle was a Christmas present. Can't remember how long ago. It's been living at my parents' house, and I found it the other day. I don't remember it taking me too long. On Christmas Day I don't take my time quite as much as I'm doing here, and I seem to remember my mum being a little disappointed that I'd managed to solve it before she got up. I think she was hoping she'd maybe found one that would stump me. Yeah, they are good fun, challenging. Each year we'd get a different puzzle, which was, I would say I'd get a different puzzle which was challenging. My brother was never particularly one for jigsaw puzzles. He'd get other things in his stocking, but for each year for me, I'd try and do these as quickly as I can. I'm already wondering whether I'm missing a piece, but I'll soldier it on, see if we can get this side done, because I think there's a bit missing, unless I've just put them in the wrong order, but I don't think I do. I did do this puzzle the other day to check that all the bits are still here. It's been sat in a cupboard for quite some time. As you can imagine, people, moving houses, moving boxes, things can easily go missing, or pieces go missing. So there are all the pieces here, or at least they all should be here. It might be that one of the edge pieces is in the non-edge pieces, and I just missed it when I was setting these all out. So, Meerkats, as you can see as I'm building it up, for those of you who are fans of Meerkats, particularly if you live in the UK, or I believe Australia as well, we see meerkats most often in a TV advert for car insurance, where a rather annoying meerkat with a Russian accent tries to sell us car insurance and other kinds of insurance, and become a bit of a mini celebrity, without being real. They do seem to be just as much fun in real life though. There's a place called Tropical World in Leeds, not too far from where I live, which originally was a butterfly house. Well, it still is a butterfly house, I have lots of butterflies there, but it also has expanded a little and has a group of meerkats there, if you can get them coming out anyway. They're not out all day, and it's good fun to just go watch them running around. So the edge, rather depressingly for my speed today, is usually the easier part to complete. I'm having not trouble, but it's taken me longer than I would have expected. Like I said, I'm not a speed solver by any stretch. It's more about the fun of this, of finding the piece and finishing the puzzle. If you are looking to watch speed solving puzzles, I'm sure there's plenty of people online you can Google. I also don't have any particular kind of solving strategies, other than I suspect is the fairly standard, pop the pieces, do the edges first and then work my way around. I think I've got these pieces mixed up. I think that's where I am struggling. Let's just see, I think we might be the wrong end here. That's the one. There we go. I hadn't missed a piece, I just put them wrong. And when you don't have a picture to go on, like in this, well, other than that, you know, it's lots of meerkats, it can be a rather challenging. A lot of the pieces are very similar and seem to fit nicely together. These are the wrong way around again. We'll get there eventually. There we go. So it's a bit like tearing up wallpaper and trying to put that back together without having any particular pattern to go with. There, and I think the edge might now be done. Excellent, the edge is done, so let's get started. So on this bottom row, where I'm going to start, we need only little bits of the head of the meerkat showing. I'm thinking I'm hoping to make these videos relatively regularly. I've got a few jigsaw puzzles kind of sat to be waiting to be done, and there's a few, like I said, at my parents', which is where this appeared. So I would be interested in trying to do a few, and I thought if we do them, I'd maybe talk about some charities associated with the topic of the jigsaw. So the obvious one would be a meerkat charity, but those of you who know anything about meerkats will probably know they're not particularly endangered. Most of the mongoose families, the meerkats are mongooses. We'll go with mongooses, and they are not particularly endangered. In fact, they're all most of the species I looked through were least concern before this video. So I don't think really there's a meerkat charity I can recommend. But I was thinking, that they're obviously African animals, and there's certainly plenty of African animals that are in need of help, lots of conservation needed. So if any of you are interested in helping wildlife and have a couple of spare coins and can afford to, then the African Wildlife Foundation, I'm sure, would appreciate your help. I'll pop the link to the website in the information below. Obviously, if you're able to, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate your consideration. So I'm struggling to find these pieces. This puzzle, when I've done it previously, it is very slow to get started, and then gradually, as you rapidly run out of pieces, it becomes a lot easier to find what you're looking for. And some of you probably looking at the screen screaming and saying the bit you want is there, and I just can't see them at the moment. I'm tempted, if I can't, oh, there we go. If I can't find any more on this row, I might move up a row. Now, like I said, I'm not no particular technique to solving, so I'm not someone who is desperate to do it in an order or anything like that. Got it. For me, it's all about enjoying solving the puzzles. Finish them, yes, I do want to finish them. I don't want to have to abandon a puzzle. I'm not really someone that will start a big puzzle and then walk away and come back and do a bit later either, partly because I don't have the room. My wife, I think, would kill me if I started leaving jigsaw puzzles lying around to be solved. Partly because I like to just have them finished and move on, really. I know some people will have kind of 1,000-piece puzzles sat around. It's not really what I'm interested in. Do the puzzle, then put it away. So if we do make more of these videos, which I'm hoping I will do, they're likely to be shorter, smaller puzzles, because that tends to fit with the ones that I own. Okay, this next level I think is going to be rather tricky because there's no heads to help us. We've got feet in the little bobbles at the bottom. Apologies to hardcore jigsaw puzzlers. I'm sure there's a name for these bits that stick out on the side, but I do not know it. If anyone does, let me know in the comments, and then we can all learn something. But I'm sure they all have a name. Right, I can't see the bits I'm after, so I think I'm going to go up a level for now, because I think it's going to be a bit too tricky. So I might go to the top. That looks quite good. No, I don't think it's that one. Basically, this puzzle, you find one that roughly fits on the level, and then you spend your time moving it along until you find the actual place that it goes in. So I think this one does fit on the level, but there we go. See, you just move it along until you find the piece that it fits in. So if we can find some similar pieces to that, that's possible. No, I don't think so on this level. See this one, again, possible. So we need bodies and the head at the bottom. Again, I think this might be the right level, but no, possibly not. Let's try this one. Not in there. Not in there either. Let's try here. No. I think it can be very easy to get frustrated doing these puzzles. The whole purpose is to try and relax. Clearly that doesn't always work if you're getting stuck. Obviously solving jigsaws not going to be for everyone. There's a way to relax. If you're wanting to join in while you're watching these, obviously figure out, you'll know your own mind what helps you. It might be drawing, colouring, knitting, whatever it might be. Have a go at that while I'm talking. If you got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll do my best to get to them. Once this video is uploaded. Okay, I'm having a difficult one here, so I'm going to go back down a level. Like I said, I'm not overly precious about how I solve the puzzle. This one I do in levels simply because it fits with the kind of easiest way to find the pieces. But I'm not against jumping around and rather than getting frustrated on a particular piece. Sometimes easier just to move on and come back to it later. On a good day, you can do this puzzle within 30 minutes, sometimes less, depending how lucky I get with the finds, with picking the pieces up. Obviously no idea, as I'm talking to you now, how long this will take. You've probably got a better idea, because it'll say at the bottom how long the video is. But hopefully not too long. Having some time to relax is important in our days. But I don't want it to be at the detriment of doing other things that we need to be getting on with. Because life doesn't stop. And sometimes we need to spend some time doing the important things as well. With my job, for those of you who've not come across me before, I'm a psychiatrist. I work with people with learning disabilities, and I do advocate, obviously, looking after ourselves, not just my patients. I advocate for everyone really. But self-care, whatever you like to call it, whether you're into the phrase or not, I think some people can be rolling their eyes at this point. It's important, but it can't just dominate. If you spend all your time looking after yourself, you'll find that the jobs that you need to do are stacking up, and then you're more likely to feel anxious because you've got them to finish. So, just thinking where we're going to go from here. I think these look very similar, just not quite. There they are. Nope, that's not it. Hopefully you can get a reasonable view of these puzzle pieces. I will aim to take a final picture and add it to the video so you can see what the final piece is. I was tempted to see if I could get the camera above the board so that you could see the puzzle as it's solving, but I think all you'll see is my ball patch, unfortunately, because I have to lean over quite a bit, and don't imagine that's going to be the most interesting of views. That's close, but no cigar. So yeah, as I said, I work my day job as a psychiatrist. In my non-day job, well, out of work, I do a little bit of writing. I like to read a lot, travel. Well, when we can travel, me and the wife are trying to travel a little bit more now that the COVID I'm not saying the COVID pandemic's gone away, but the restrictions have certainly gone away, and we personally feel like we're in a position where we're able to travel. I know a lot of people don't feel like that, and if you're one of them, then obviously I hope you're feeling well and doing well. But we've managed to get away once this year. We've just come back from a family holiday. My wife's extended family like to book a house to go and spend some time together. So we had a week away in the Yorkshire Dales. It's actually where I got the idea for making these videos. The house had a jigsaw set. It was a series of jigsaw sets, and it just got me thinking, and kind of rekindling how much I enjoy solving jigsaws, and wondered whether I should share that with people. At the moment, these pieces are not falling for me at the moment. No. So there's a guy's head here, which I'm missing, which can't seem to see. Like I said, as you get further on with this puzzle, it's well, I guess like with all jigsaw puzzles really, it becomes rapidly easier as you've got fewer and fewer pieces to choose from. And at the moment, I just still have a few too many choices. And that will change, obviously. Let's go a bit higher up. So we're looking for the tops of eyes on this level. Not those set, maybe these. No, but I think that's close. I think this piece might be close. So today, after finished here, I'm going to a birthday party for a family member. I won't reveal how old they are in case they're watching, but it's a respectable age, and hopefully see some family that I've not seen in several years, many years, in some cases. I'm expecting a fairly wide extended family coming along. It's my mum's side of the family, and she her mum had, I think, 11 brothers and sisters. One sadly died in infancy, so didn't have any children, but the others, most of them did. So there's quite a lot of family, and I think quite a few of them will be coming today. That's my plan for the weekend, other than solving a jigsaw puzzle. Now, I'm starting to get annoyed with myself here. This feels like we should be getting further on. Again, not the point of doing jigsaws. It's much more about trying to relax. So I'll try taking a few deep breaths and hope that my frustration doesn't bubble over to the point where the puzzle goes out the window. Obviously, if you see the camera cutting off, you know I've decided to take a break. And so far, so good. And staying calm. No, okay, that looks promising. but not quite the right piece. So I mentioned I used to get jigsaw puzzles for Christmas, and there were other puzzles as well I briefly hinted at. So jigsaws are certainly my favourite, but I would get kind of wooden puzzles, kind of ones where you've got to untie the rope or get a ball off or something along those lines. They're good fun. I think my the reason I don't like them as much is often once you've figured the solution out, it's very easy then to just keep doing it. Equally, just because you can figure the solution out doesn't mean you can always get the ball back on, or whatever it is, the loop or whatever that you've been trying to unhook. So that can be annoying. Whereas with a jigsaw puzzle, providing you take them apart at the end properly, you're basically starting from scratch again. To a degree you can remember some of the pieces that you had, but unless you've got an eidetic memory, which I certainly do not, you're probably going to struggle to remember exactly where each piece goes. Aha, that's one that's been eluding me for a while. Does it go below? No. So certainly looking for one where we can fit the head. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. I feel like I'm gathering up useless pieces. Not useless, but certainly not helping progress. Now that's close, but not quite. So I need to find one very similar to that. That one looks good. No. Still looking for a piece similar to this one. How about this one? Bingo. So I suspect this one is probably going to sit there because they are extremely similar. So I am just going to leave that there. I just said I was tidying up and now I've gone and made a mess again. Does that fit like that? It does. And does that fit like that? It does. I was right. My guess was right. Excellent. Now let's wrap this puzzle up, shall we? So hopefully you're not getting too frustrated at me waffling on. I haven't really got any plans for what I'm going to talk about on these videos. My blog, as you've probably come across in the video, the channel's name itself is Self-Indulgent Twaddle. That name was kindly given by my wife, who felt some of what I was saying was maybe a little on the self-indulgent side. I talk about pretty much anything. I think I've decided I'm not going to kind of hit on controversial topics, politics, religion, things like that. That's not to say I don't have my opinions on those. If anyone ever wants to listen to me rant at them for several hours, I'm sure I could. But that's not the point of these videos really. The point is to just have a bit of time away from the world really. So I'm not going to talk about things like politics in any detail. And hopefully, I'll try to say this with a straight face, only you can't see my face. Hopefully you'll all be nice to each other in the comments, etc. Although I appreciate this is YouTube, so try and be nice. I know it can be hard. Right. Excellent. That piece had been annoying me for a little while. Let's see if we can go down. I think that, again, that feels like it should fit there. It does fit there. Excellent. And that helps then. Once we get one piece in, you get an idea of what you should be looking for on the rest of the row. So we want a head in the bobbly bit. We might have all learnt the name by now by the time we get to this point in the video. And we need 3 bodies. They should all slide together. There's obviously a chance as well this video has been split up depending on how big it is. So as you can see, my channel is fairly new, and new channels obviously for space, and make sure that YouTube's not just bombarded with videos that no one is watching. New channels with small viewing figures don't get as much upload space, so there is a chance this won't be able to go up as one video. I will do my best to put it up as one, but I might have to put it in parts, in which case hopefully you've been following along. For anyone who hasn't and you're just dipping randomly in and out of videos in any order, hello. Thanks for joining. Those of you that have stuck with us from the beginning, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you're all feeling a little bit more relaxed than you were at the start. That's the whole point of these videos. Just to take a bit of time out and do something fairly meaningless. Not meaningless in the sense of pointless, meaningless in the sense of it doesn't really matter if I don't solve this puzzle. No one's going to die as a result, and we might just enjoy ourselves in the process. Like I said, jigsaw puzzles are not for everyone, so if you've got something of your own that you prefer to do to relax, please feel free to do that while you're watching. Colouring, crafts. You could be even lifting weights if you really want to. It's not possibly the most relaxing, but exercise itself can be very good for, it is very good for your well-being. I don't know why I'm saying can be very good for your well-being. It is very good for your well-being. I managed to drag myself to the gym this morning. It's the first time in a little while with my holiday, and then just finding time with work. It wasn't too taxing, which was good. Slightly worried I was going to find myself back to the start with the amount of weights and things, but managed to just about do what I've been doing before I went away. As you can see, these pieces don't all fit together perfectly. A little bit of bumping in them. And when I got this table to do this video on, because clearly you need a flat surface. When I started doing this, I was actually doing it on the floor just behind, which was a mistake. Took far too long. Pieces would move, jump out of place, you'd just think you'd finished, and then you'd knock it by accident, and off you went again back to the start. So if you are looking to getting some jigsaw puzzles. Make sure you find yourself a nice flat surface. This table actually is possibly not even the best because it's quite slippy, and I am slightly worried. When I was putting the pieces out at the start, I managed to knock quite a few of them off. Scramble under the sofa to find them again. So you may want to get a proper mat especially if you're wanting to do it at any kind of speed. If you're going along at a steady pace like me, you'll probably be okay. If speed solving is your thing, you probably want to get something to rest on that's going to hold the pieces in place. Right, we're getting there now. It's just a case of finishing up. And let's see where we're going with these final pieces. That's going to go there. Yeah, we're on the home stretch now, certainly. Like I said, could have done this quicker, I'm sure. That's not the point. The point was to enjoy the process. There's always the satisfaction of finishing at the end. I'm slightly concerned there may be a piece wrong somewhere, but we'll figure that out. That's okay as well. There we go. That's not right. Quite. I said it gets a bit quicker towards the end. It's still not racing ahead. So like I said, I've got a selection of other puzzles that I'm thinking of doing. Hopefully, it's aim for one every week or so, maybe. That might be ambitious. So we'll see how we get on. Like I said, the point of this is not to add to life stresses, it's to try and take them away. So if I find myself in a position where I'm getting worried about finishing a video or whatever, it defeats the point in my book. I do work full time, so there is going to be times when I can't get things done, and there is a mistake, I believe. So, where is the mistake? This piece, now that piece does go in there. I think it's this piece here doesn't seem to fit there. Is it this one? No. Again, this piece. I found it. It's this one here. That one goes in there. That one goes in there. We are done, and just under 40 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you are feeling a little bit more relaxed, and let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've got any questions, and otherwise I'll see you next time.